Browns back at practice, getting ready for the Ravens here on Thursday. We heard from new play caller Ken Dorsey for the first time today. Mary Kay, he didn't really offer much up to us today about if things are going to change, if things could look different with him calling the plays. But still, we did hear from him today talking about this opportunity, his first time calling plays since the Bills fired him. Not quite around this time last year, but not far off from when he got fired a year ago.
Yeah, he's looking forward to this opportunity, getting back in the saddle, calling plays again, and seeing if he can coax some good things out of this offense, which is right now ranked last in the NFL, last in points, and way down at the bottom of the barrel in almost everything else. So it's a tall order for Ken Dorsey. He's going to be obviously calling plays for Jameis Winston for now. We'll see how long that lasts. So that should be interesting, but he's raring to go and excited for this chance.
And Ashley, we can talk about if he's going to be in the booth or not, but I don't know if we really want to get into that. But really, this is just an opportunity to see him kind of call his offense, which is what the Browns have been trying to install all offseason.
Yeah, I don't know that we want to start talking about the booth, but for any fans who care, they're undecided yet on what Ken is going to do there. But I did think it was interesting when we asked him about Jameis Winston and calling plays for him versus Deshaun Watson, who obviously so much of this offense was reimagined to suit Deshaun Watson's skill set. So what are the differences there? And Ken Dorsey compared it to the 1 year he was in Carolina when Cam Newton had to miss some time. Derek Anderson came in. He said, you're not reinventing the wheel, but it is about finding what your quarterback that's starting is comfortable with while still keeping most of those same concepts involved.
Now, we also heard from Jerry Jeudy today. Of course, Ashley, you saw it in real time, and of course, cameras caught him slamming his helmet to the ground in a football game on Sunday where he did not get targeted until the fourth quarter. And Mary Kay, Jerry addressed some of those frustrations today.
Yes, he acknowledged and admitted that he was very frustrated during that game with the loss, with the fact that he wasn't involved very much in the offense until very late. But he said he's got to control it better, and he would like to have that back, the fact that he was caught whipping his helmet into the bench. So he's going to go out there this week. We know that the Browns are going to try to get him the ball. We know that Jameis Winston is going to try to get him the ball because he did so at least on 4 occasions on that final drive. So the effort will be there, and Jerry is ready to step up into that number 1 role.
Yeah, and Ashley, that's one thing about having a veteran quarterback out there who's taking over for Deshaun Watson. If it were Dorian, you just never know because he's still a young guy. But a veteran quarterback like Jameis understands Jerry Jeudy is a guy that's going to help him. So the more you can get him involved, the better.
Right. I think it's guys like him, guys like David Njoku. Obviously, he's going to get a chance to play with Nick Chubb as well. So they might try to open some things up that way and getting Nick involved in the short passing game and obviously handing the ball off to him. But I definitely think that's where the fact that Jameis Winston is a veteran, he's seen a lot, he's dealt with just about every, I think, scenario you can as a starting quarterback in the NFL. I think that's really going to be good for Jerry's involvement and making a concerted effort on Cleveland's part to get Jerry Jeudy touches early in this game.
Now, did you guys miss us talking about who's going to start at tackle? Because we get to talk a little bit about tackle this week. The good news on the O-line, Ethan Pocic was back at practice today. The bad news, Jedrick Wills at left tackle remains out. Now, Jed has been struggling anyway, but as the Browns try to find any semblance of stability, they might have to shake up the left side of that line again, Mary Kay.
Yeah, that would be unfortunate because there has been no stability there whatsoever. And when you have a new quarterback back there, you want to make sure that he's getting as protected as possible. With Jed out, that means that perhaps DeJuan Jones might have to fill in over there at left tackle. It's a topic that we've talked about for a long time. Could he possibly be the left tackle of the future for the Cleveland Browns? He's told me that he would love for that to happen because he idolizes Joe Thomas and wants to follow in his footsteps. So who knows? If he starts there, this could be the start of something big.
Yeah, well, he's going to at least get to make his case because, as we know, Jed is playing on his 5th-year option. It has been an up-and-down year for Jedrick Wills at left tackle. But, Ashley, even Joel Bitonio today talked about that lack of stability up front. Playing with different guys every day, every week, it gets difficult for an O-line.
It does. And I mean, we've seen this group for the most part. You think about the starters, the 5 core starters on this O-line. They've been together for a few years now. That's kind of a rarity in the NFL to have a group together as long as this group has been. But You add in those injuries. You add in the fact that they lost their longtime coach in Bill Callahan, their longtime position coach, I should say. I think all of those things have been working together to make life really difficult for that group. And even when you have veterans who are in there, like obviously Joel Bitonio, who's stayed in the game throughout all of these other injuries to guys around him this year, it still makes it that much harder when you have so many different inflection points, weak points on that line with guys in and guys out.
Okay, we will cover everything that happens. Whoever's playing tackle, whoever's calling plays, we do know the answer to that, of course. We will cover it all at cleveland.com/Browns.